General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, August 19th reveal that the storyline surrounding Lucas is rapidly evolving into one of the most intense and emotionally charged arcs in General Hospital, as Lucas's determination to save a loved one leads him down a dark and dangerous path. After discovering that Marco, someone he deeply cares for, is in peril, Lucas is ready to do whatever it takes to free him, even if it means taking extreme measures. The emotional stakes are higher than ever, and Lucas is no longer operating with the calm, measured approach he once did. His love for Marco has driven him into a corner, and in a moment of desperation, Lucas is preparing to confront Sonny Corinthos directly, a move that is bound to have explosive consequences for everyone involved. Lucas's deep emotional attachment to Marco has clouded his judgment, and his decision to take action against Sonny marks a significant shift in his character. Lucas, who has always been portrayed as intelligent and empathetic, is now wrestling with the moral dilemma of how far he is willing to go for someone he loves. The normally composed and principled doctor is stepping into uncharted territory, ready to confront the most dangerous man in Port Charles, all in the name of saving Marco. The sheer magnitude of Lucas's determination to rescue Marco proves just how far he is willing to go to protect his loved ones, even if it means confronting Sonny, someone with whom he shares complicated ties, especially considering the personal and professional history between them. Sonny, known for his immense power and influence in the criminal underworld, has long been a figure that most people avoid crossing. His relationships are fraught with complexity, and his business dealings often come with a deadly price. For Lucas to take such a bold step in defying Sonny is not only a shocking development, but also a signal that Lucas is willing to risk everything, including his relationship with his family and his career, to free Marco from whatever situation he is trapped in. This confrontation, fueled by desperation and love, is set to break boundaries, and it is likely that the fallout will have ripple effects across the entire Port Charles community. The tension between Lucas and Sonny is compounded by the history between them. Sonny has always been a powerful figure in Lucas's life, both as a family member through his ties with Carly and as a figure with whom Lucas has had more than one encounter that ended in conflict or uneasy alliances. However, with Marco's life hanging in the balance, Lucas's perception of right and wrong is being radically altered. Sonny's hold over the town and his control over many aspects of life in Port Charles cannot be ignored, but Lucas is choosing to fight back in an attempt to free Marco, no matter what the consequences may be. This decision not only places him at odds with Sonny but also places him in a position where the very essence of his moral code is being tested. As Lucas prepares to make his move against Sonny, he faces internal struggles as well. He knows the stakes. He knows that confronting Sonny means playing in a world of power, danger, and unpredictability. But his love for Marco, and the need to protect him, outweighs the fear and the risks involved. Lucas's willingness to confront Sonny marks a dramatic shift from his usual role of the peacekeeper and the voice of reason. It speaks to the desperation that comes when a person is pushed to the edge and forced to take drastic action to save someone they love. The story arc surrounding Lucas and his bold move against Sonny will undoubtedly lead to a series of intense confrontations, not just between the two men, but also within Lucas's relationships with his family, his friends, and his own self-identity. His actions will inevitably affect his standing in Port Charles, especially as the consequences of defying Sonny begin to unfold. The impact of his decisions will ripple through the Corinthos family, Carly, and others, with everyone reacting to Lucas's newfound aggression and determination in different ways. As Lucas takes steps to free Marco, he must also face the reality that his actions could forever change his relationships with those closest to him. The bigger question, however, is what happens next. Once Lucas confronts Sonny and puts his plan into motion, will he succeed in freeing Marco, or will his actions lead to unintended consequences? Will his defiance of Sonny be a turning point that leads to further escalation, or will it mark the beginning of a new chapter for Lucas, where he is no longer defined by his former peaceful demeanor but by his willingness to take extreme measures for the ones he loves? This storyline not only promises intense drama and suspense, but also provides a deeper exploration of Lucas's character, highlighting how far he is willing to go for love, and the consequences of taking such risks. It challenges Lucas's principles and forces him to reconsider his values in a way that viewers have never seen before. And with Sonny, one of the most formidable figures in General Hospital, in his way, the stakes have never been higher. As this emotional and dangerous arc unfolds, it will undoubtedly keep fans on the edge of their seats, wondering what Lucas's next move will be, how Sonny will retaliate, and what the lasting impact will be on Port Charles as a whole. Will Lucas's actions be the catalyst for change, or will they ultimately bring him face to face with consequences he cannot escape? The story of Lucas's quest to save Marco is far from over, and the explosive events that will unfold are sure to change the course of General Hospital forever. Jocelyn and Vaughn are now standing at the precipice of a new chapter in their journey, one that will see them taking increasingly dangerous steps as they plan their next move in a high-stakes game of espionage, survival, and trust. The weight of their decisions is heavy, and every choice they make could be their last. As they navigate through the treacherous waters of Port Charles and beyond, the danger surrounding them intensifies. The immediate threat isn't just from external enemies, it's from within their own ranks. Pascal, a man with his own hidden motives and dark alliances, has become an even greater and more unpredictable force in their lives, pushing Jocelyn and Vaughn into an ever-tightening noose of danger and deception. As the story unfolds, it becomes evident that Pascal's involvement in their plans is far more dangerous than either Jocelyn or Vaughn initially realized. Pascal, once seen as a potential ally, has now turned into a looming threat, his every move dripping with calculated intent. His ties to shadowy organizations and his ability to manipulate those around him have made him a dangerous wild card in this already volatile situation. What was once a quiet partnership has shifted into something far more sinister. Pascal's manipulation is no longer subtle, it's outright dangerous, and he seems to be playing both sides with the same cold precision. Jocelyn and Vaughn, now aware of the full extent of his betrayal, are forced to confront the terrifying reality that they may be caught in a game they didn't fully understand. Pascal's betrayal is not just personal, it's deeply strategic, and it threatens to unravel everything they've worked for. As Jocelyn and Vaughn prepare for their next steps, the stakes have never been higher. Every decision they make now carries the weight of their futures, their lives, and the safety of those they care about. They know that Pascal is not just trying to take them down, he's trying to control the entire operation, and he will stop at nothing to get what he wants. Jocelyn and Vaughn, though determined, must constantly watch their backs, knowing that one wrong move could cost them everything. They may think they have a plan, but Pascal is always one step ahead, always watching, always calculating. This is no longer just a battle of survival. It's a battle of wits, trust, and betrayal, where the lines between friend and foe are dangerously blurred. What makes the current danger so intense is the uncertainty of it all. The twists are coming fast and unpredictable. Every time Jocelyn and Vaughn think they have a clear path forward, something or someone shifts beneath their feet, threatening to pull them under. And Pascal, with his ability to manipulate and deceive, has become the central figure in this ever-evolving web of danger. His next move is anyone's guess, but one thing is certain, he will not stop until he's gotten everything he wants. The psychological toll on Jocelyn and Vaughn is immense as they find themselves in a constant state of vigilance, never knowing who to trust or where the next threat will come from. As the tension escalates, the shocking revelation of just how far Pascal is willing to go to manipulate them will leave fans reeling. It becomes clear that the true danger is not just Pascal's ability to control the situation, it's his capacity to destroy everything Jocelyn and Vaughn have worked for. He has no moral compass, no sense of loyalty, and his only goal is power and control. The more they learn about Pascal's machinations, the more they realize they are playing a much bigger game than they ever anticipated. In their pursuit of survival, they are forced to make difficult choices that could either bring them closer to victory or plunge them deeper into danger. The path ahead is fraught with peril, and Jocelyn and Vaughn must rely on their wits, their bond, and their courage to outmaneuver Pascal. But the twists keep coming, and each move they make feels like it could be the last. The stakes have never been higher, and the danger has never been so real. Pascal's relentless pursuit of power is turning into a dangerous obsession, and as he tightens his grip on the operation, he forces Jocelyn and Vaughn to confront their darkest fears. In this high-stakes world of espionage and deception, the only certainty is that nothing will ever be the same again. Jason is determined to uncover the truth. For months, he's been searching for answers, driven by a deep need to understand the complex web of deceit that has surrounded him. But nothing has prepared him for what he's about to discover. As General Hospital takes a bold turn in its narrative, Anna's investigation into the mysterious circumstances surrounding Britt's life begins to unravel a shocking secret that will send shockwaves through Port Charles. For Anna, this isn't just about solving a case or uncovering another piece of the puzzle, it's personal. Britt, a woman who has crossed paths with Anna in countless ways over the years, has been shrouded in secrecy for much of her life. But now, Anna has discovered something that could change everything. The truth about Britt's life, her survival, and her connection to the darker corners of Port Charles is beginning to emerge, and as it does, the world around them is starting to shift in ways no one expected. What makes this revelation so explosive is not just the impact it will have on Anna, but the broader consequences for everyone involved. Britt, whose motives and actions have often been unclear, is suddenly thrust into the spotlight in a way that no one saw coming. Her survival, her mysterious past, and the role she's played in the ongoing drama in Port Charles have always been part of the backdrop. But now, the truth about her life and her survival is forcing everyone, including Jason, to confront uncomfortable realities about the people they've trusted, the relationships they've built, and the secrets they've kept hidden. For Jason, this revelation becomes a pivotal moment. His quest for answers, his need to understand the truth behind Britt's actions, now collides with Anna's findings, and what was once a simple inquiry into Britt's past becomes a high-stakes battle to expose the deeper truths that have been buried for far too long. Jason has always been someone who operates in the shadows, but as the truth about Britt's life begins to surface, he realizes that the shadows have been hiding far more than he ever imagined. The connection between Britt's survival and the hidden forces working against them all becomes clearer, and the danger they face is far greater than just a personal betrayal, it's a threat to everything they hold dear. As Anna delves deeper into the mystery of Britt's life, the stakes grow higher. The truth is not just a key to understanding Britt's motivations, it's a doorway to a larger, more dangerous conspiracy. Anna's pursuit of answers is no longer just about solving a case. It's about unmasking a network of manipulation and deceit that has the potential to destroy everything. The explosion of secrets surrounding Britt's survival is setting off a chain reaction that no one can escape, and as Anna uncovers more about the truth, it becomes clear that their world is about to be forever changed. For Jason, the discovery that Britt's life, and the secrets surrounding it, are much more complex than he ever imagined is both a burden and a revelation. His quest for answers, driven by a need for justice, is now tangled in a web of intrigue that forces him to question everything he thought he knew. The line between friend and foe blurs as Jason faces the harsh reality that the people he's trusted may not be who they appear to be, and that the truths they've been hiding could have devastating consequences. As the truth about Britt's life and survival continues to unfold, Anna, Jason, and the rest of Port Charles are forced to confront the lies and manipulation that have been at the core of their relationships. The revelation of Britt's secret, and the truth about how she's managed to survive, will not only tear apart the fragile alliances that have held the town together but also ignite a new wave of chaos that no one is prepared for. This revelation is more than just a plot twist. It is a game changer. It alters the course of every character's journey and raises the stakes for everyone involved. As Anna and Jason race against time to uncover the full extent of Britt's past, they must navigate a world of shifting alliances, dangerous enemies, and painful truths that threaten to unravel everything they've fought for. The fallout from this revelation will be felt throughout Port Charles, and as the dust settles, everyone will have to come to terms with the consequences of the secrets that have been exposed. In the end, the truth about Britt's survival is not just a story about her, it's a story about the complex web of relationships, lies, and secrets that bind everyone together in Port Charles. As the truth comes to light, the world they've built will be shattered, and the characters will be forced to face the consequences of their actions, their choices, and the lies they've been living. This is the beginning of a new era for General Hospital, one that promises to be filled with even more twists, turns, and shocking revelations than ever before. Anna has always been a master of navigating the complex webs of alliances, but the current situation in General Hospital is pushing her skills to their limit. With the stakes higher than ever, she is now carefully forming alliances, knowing that every step she takes must be calculated to avoid being swept away by the increasingly unpredictable forces at play. The chaos surrounding Robert's death, the shifting tides of Port Charles, and the unveiling of long-hidden truths have placed Anna in a precarious position where trust is in short supply, and every new ally could also be a potential threat. As she walks this tightrope, her alliances, whether with Brennan, Emma, or others, become a lifeline to navigating the storm, but also a source of tension and conflict. Brennan, a character who has long been an enigma in Port Charles, has become an even more dangerous player in the unfolding drama. Once considered a solid, albeit mysterious, ally, Brennan's true loyalties are now under intense scrutiny. Anna, knowing the depths of his ability to manipulate and control situations, is forced to decide whether he is someone she can continue to rely on or someone who could, at any moment, turn against her and those she cares about. Brennan's increasingly erratic behavior, his growing obsession with securing control over the town's underworld, and his willingness to make extreme decisions for the sake of his goals are becoming more evident. Anna knows that aligning herself too closely with Brennan could lead to dangerous consequences, but at the same time, his knowledge and influence are critical if she hopes to expose the full extent of the conspiracy surrounding Robert's death. Emma, on the other hand, is adding another layer of complexity to Anna's already tangled world. As Robert's granddaughter, she is not just mourning a loss, she is grappling with the revelation of her own position in the ongoing battle for power in Port Charles. Emma is torn between the loyalty she feels for her family and the truth she's beginning to uncover about her grandfather's hidden dealings. Her relationship with Anna, always a bond of love and respect, is now fraught with unspoken tension. Emma's innocence is slowly being replaced by a sharper understanding of the dangerous world she is now part of, and this transition is creating a rift between her and Anna. Where Anna once saw Emma as a beacon of hope and continuity in a world of chaos, she now sees a young woman struggling to reconcile her heritage with the darker truths she is uncovering. Anna's careful construction of alliances, including her interactions with Brennan and Emma, is proof that the world she is operating in has changed irrevocably. What started as a personal quest to uncover Robert's murderer has transformed into a complex, multi-layered conspiracy involving criminal networks, hidden allegiances, and personal betrayals. The trust she once had in her closest allies is eroding as new revelations about Robert's past, his connections to those around him, and his role in the larger scheme of things come to light. With Brennan's unpredictable actions, Emma's evolving understanding of the situation, and the looming shadow of new enemies who are pulling the strings from the sidelines, Anna finds herself questioning whether any of the alliances she has forged are truly safe. This is where the true trouble lies. The alliances that Anna is forming are not just for her own survival, they are for the survival of those she loves. But with each new development, each new twist, the consequences of these alliances become more dangerous. Brennan, Emma, and others are not merely players in Anna's grand strategy. They are also unpredictable forces whose decisions could push Anna into corners she may not be able to escape from. The web of deception is tightening around her, and the danger is no longer just external, it's internal as well. Anna must not only be strategic in her alliances but also in how much she trusts those closest to her, including Brennan and Emma. The lines between ally and adversary are becoming dangerously blurred, and Anna's ability to navigate this web may be the key to either unraveling the conspiracy or becoming its next victim. The stakes in Port Charles have never been higher, and the risks Anna is taking with each alliance are increasingly dire. As Brennan's unpredictability and Emma's growing awareness of the darker forces at play continue to complicate matters, Anna must grapple with the fact that even the most trusted allies can become the most dangerous enemies. The ongoing saga is no longer just about uncovering the truth of Robert's death, it's about surviving a world where betrayal lurks around every corner, and the consequences of trust are more deadly than ever before. The new complications Anna faces are the result of a world that is increasingly beyond her control, and the only certainty is that her carefully constructed alliances may not be enough to protect her, or those she loves, from the coming storm. The battle for power in Port Charles is escalating, and Anna is right in the eye of the hurricane, where every move she makes will decide not only her fate but the fate of everyone she holds dear. Nina's world has been turned upside down, and it's becoming increasingly clear that her tenuous grip on control is slipping. Her anger, once hidden beneath layers of politeness and social grace, is now bubbling to the surface, and the storm that is brewing around her threatens to unravel everything she has worked for. At the center of her emotional unraveling is Willow, the woman who has stirred Nina's deepest fears and insecurities. What started as a slow burn of resentment and jealousy is now accelerating into a full-blown crisis, ignited by the explosive confrontation between Nina and Willow, and made all the more volatile by Drew's involvement in the escalating conflict. This collision of emotions, family secrets, and personal vendettas is setting the stage for an all-consuming drama that will leave no one in Port Charles unscathed. Nina has always struggled with Willow, but the deepening rift between them is now more than just a matter of competition for love or respect. Willow represents everything Nina has lost or never had: the chance to be close to her daughter, the desire for connection, and the fierce drive to protect her own. But with Willow becoming a central figure in Drew's life, Nina's fears and frustrations are reaching a boiling point. Drew, whom Nina has always seen as a potential ally, is now the source of her greatest emotional turmoil. His growing bond with Willow is a reminder of the family Nina could have had, and this reality is driving her to the edge. The more she sees Drew standing by Willow's side, the more she feels her power slipping away, and the less able she becomes to control the chaotic emotions raging inside her. Nina's decision to confront Willow is no longer driven by a desire for reconciliation. It's a desperate, emotional attack, rooted in the fear that she is being slowly replaced and pushed out of the family she thought she had a rightful place in. But it's not just Nina's personal vendetta that is making this situation so dangerous. Drew's involvement complicates things even further. Drew has always been a man of integrity and moral grounding, but his association with Willow is blurring the lines between right and wrong, and Nina knows this. His relationship with Willow, while genuine, is becoming a catalyst for Nina's explosive breakdown. Drew's protective nature, coupled with his unwavering support for Willow, is an affront to Nina's desire to control the narrative of her life, and that loss of control is pushing her to make increasingly reckless decisions. What once seemed like a simple conflict of interest has now escalated into a battle for dominance, with Nina at the center of the emotional storm. She is no longer just fighting for her daughter's love, she is fighting for her identity, for a sense of belonging, and for the right to claim what she believes is hers. And as Nina's desperation grows, so does the danger she poses to everyone around her. Willow, for her part, is becoming a symbol of everything Nina feels she's been denied. But it's not just her connection to Drew that has Nina on edge, it's the growing realization that she has underestimated Willow in ways that are beginning to backfire. Willow's strength, her ability to navigate the complicated world around her, and her deep emotional intelligence have made her a formidable opponent, and Nina is now realizing that she may have misjudged her. What started as a rivalry fueled by jealousy and insecurity is now a battle of wills, with Nina's emotional instability becoming more and more evident. As she watches Drew and Willow grow closer, she feels a mix of rage and helplessness, knowing that the situation is spiraling beyond her control. But this sense of losing control is exactly what is driving Nina to the brink of madness. She can no longer hold back her frustration, and her emotions are beginning to spill over in dangerous ways. Drew, caught in the middle of this increasingly volatile situation, is struggling to maintain his sense of balance. He cares deeply for both Willow and Nina, but he is now forced to confront the reality that his attempts to bridge the gap between them have only made things worse. His loyalty to Willow is being tested by Nina's erratic behavior, and his desire to protect her is colliding with his deep-rooted respect for Nina. Drew is trying to find a way to calm the storm, but he is quickly realizing that there is no easy solution to the tangled web of emotions, loyalties, and family dynamics that has now engulfed them all. His role in this drama is not just that of a mediator, it's one of conflict resolution, and the pressure is building on him to take sides in a battle he never wanted to be part of. As Nina's anger grows, so too does the danger she represents. Her actions, now increasingly erratic and fueled by a burning need for control, are putting everyone at risk. Willow and Drew find themselves facing not only the emotional turmoil of their relationship but also the constant threat of Nina's interference. The more Nina pushes, the more volatile the situation becomes. She is no longer a passive player in her own life, she has become an active force, one that is determined to upend the lives of those she feels have wronged her. Her obsession with Willow, her need to control Drew's loyalty, and her refusal to accept the reality of her situation are pushing her to the brink of insanity. This chaotic, explosive new chapter in General Hospital is about to unfold in ways that no one expected. The dangerous dance between Nina, Willow, and Drew is a ticking time bomb, and the consequences of Nina's actions are about to explode in the most unexpected and devastating ways. The emotional cost of these tangled relationships will be immense, and no one will come out of this unscathed. As Nina's desperation takes hold and her grip on reality begins to slip, the entire town of Port Charles will feel the reverberations of her unraveling sanity. The story of her rage, obsession, and emotional collapse is just beginning, and the results will be more devastating than anyone can imagine. This new chapter not only promises intense personal drama but also sets the stage for even more complex storylines that will change the course of General Hospital for the foreseeable future. As Nina's quest for control grows more dangerous, as Willow's strength becomes a point of contention, and as Drew is pulled further into the emotional chaos, the stakes for everyone involved will reach new heights. And what started as a simple rivalry has now evolved into a deadly game of emotional warfare, with no one knowing who will emerge victorious or who will be left standing when the dust finally settles.